It's the first sunny day in a while, and I've been a little bit sick not doing the garden, so I wanted to show the very overgrown garden and go through what I'm going to do to get things back on track. Okay, so I'm going to walk all the way up to the top of the garden. You can kind of see there's a bit of a path here, but it's very overgrown. Eventually the idea is to kind of reinstate this path and cut back all the grass so that there's paving. I'd ideally like to put some thyme or something instead of the grass in here, to make it look a little bit more, don't know, a little bit more fairy cottage vibes kind of thing. So you can see, before I got sick I was like in the middle of doing some gardening, so there's just like random tools left out, scissors and twine, because I was just like, oh, it's getting late, I'll do this tomorrow, and then got really sick. So starting from this end of the garden, I've got quite a lot of weeds in this part. Annoyingly, some of the plastic plant labels have got really bleached by the sun, so I might have to watch back my last video to try and work out what's in here. I know some of it's leeks, but I'm not 100% sure what's behind that. I want to say maybe that says Aquilegia, but I'm not sure. But you can see there's just a lot of weeds in the ground, and I don't think there's really any. Oh, there is a few leeks coming up, you can see there. We've got a very sad looking pumpkin here. We've got some yellowing of the leaves and it's getting quite eaten. There's a lot of bugs on there, so I need to kind of read about that and find out what the issue is there. I think the main stem's still intact. This doesn't look like the main stem, so as long as that's not being nibbled we should be okay, I think. And it's slightly, weirdly slightly healthier looking Uchikuri, which nothing seems to have touched for some reason. Starting to get flowers on it. Oh, that's a male flower that's on there. No fruit flowers yet. Moving along a little bit here. Again, got some weeding to do here. My fig tree desperately needs weeding. The bottom of the pod's all just weeds. That's because for several years that was just sat outside my old house with no real maintenance. So there's probably loads of weed seeds in there. He's not very happy. Eventually it'll get put in the ground here once we've cut this whole area back, because I kind of want him at the back of the garden. Maybe shading over a pond if we end up putting a pond in. We've got, again, it's all kind of faded, so I'm not really sure what any of this stuff is. That's very frustrating. Maybe I should get wooden labels next time. Got some chicories here starting to come up. I think these are radishes. Could be beetroot. Radish, yeah. And then there's supposed to be beetroots in the front, but none of those are coming up yet. Looks like a couple of them tried to, and then the tops got nibbled, so I think they might die. We've got red cabbages here. They're for winter heading, so they're not really anywhere near where they will be, but you'll get like the proper bulbous head of cabbage in the middle of here. The outer leaves are just kind of, doesn't really matter if they get a little bit munched. Behind that, I did put some parsnip seeds in here, but then I accidentally weeded some of them thinking they weren't parsnips, so I don't know whether there's many left to come up. We'll see. They usually take a while to sprout, but this is a little bit longer than I'd expect, so I might have to put some more seeds in. Got some more Uchikuri squashes here, which are doing okay. Just some flowers and things at the back. That's a salvia. I think these are some kind of names escaped me, can't remember. There's supposed to be some sweet corn in here, but maybe some of the ones over there are sweet corn. The flowers I've got in here are quite similar looking to the sweet corn, so it's a bit difficult to tell. This patch here next to the red cabbages, we've got perpetual spinach, which is a plant in the beetroot family. It produces sort of spinach leaves. It's a bit of like a cut and come again type crop. So that's a good one to have. I really should start picking some of this soon. In front of that we've got startings of some multi-sown carrots. And then these are just nigella flowers that I've popped in. Seems like some perpetual spinach has managed to get in there. I'll just leave that. A mixture of sweet corn and flowers at the back here. God, I wish I could remember what those bulbs were I put in of the flowers. They kind of look a bit like the sweet corn. These. There was something that I bought as bulbs from Range or something like that. Maybe Home Bargains. And I remember my mum said they were really hard to grow, and then they've come up like weeds. So who knows? We've got a couple of sad looking tomato plants up here. I think I said in the last video, but the birds were picking at this for their nests, so it's a little bit unstable. I don't mind. They were more just kind of spare tomatoes that I didn't have space for on the ground anyway. Got some tomatillos at the back. I've not grown them before, so I thought they were going to be a bigger plant, so I probably shouldn't have placed them at the back. You can see they're getting a little bit overgrown there. Got a hollyhock flower. Very collapsed tomato plant, so part of what I want to do while I'm tidying up is maybe tidy up the tomato plants a bit, take out some of the lower trusses and tie them up. Maybe it does technically have support in there, but the support's tiny. Probably needs a bigger stick of some kind in there. I'll probably just take some of the branches from when I've cut back this bit, take some of the kind of sticks coming off those out and make them into some kind of support. A bunch of onions. So anyway, go very small, but starting to come up. Butternut squash looking very sad. I always struggle with butternuts, particularly in the squash family. Not sure why. They don't seem as reliable as you'd expect for such a popular type of squash. Like, you would think if they're so popular in supermarkets and stuff, they're easy to grow, but apparently not. Got some sort of climbing jasmine there, nigellas, weigellas, just more flowers. Very sad looking aubergine. Does it still have flowers on it? So, oh. I don't think that's gonna fruit though. They're just falling off when I touch them. We'll see. I'll just leave it. This tomato here starting to get some lovely little green tomatoes. This is a very small tomato plant, but I think these ones kind of stay small. It's tumbling tigress, I think. There's some baby chard in here. Not sure what that is. Who knows? More of this perpetual spinach. We've got loads of very overgrown radishes because I've planted too many and then I haven't been picking them like I should, so you can see they're starting to go to flower. So I'll pick those and see what they're like, and maybe if they're okay I'll pickle some of them or I'll just compost them. Got another tomato plant in desperate need of some tying up. Some much bigger plant on Sun Gold. One of my favourite tomatoes, so I'm hoping we'll get some decent tomatoes off that. Lots of flowers. A few fruits coming up. We'll see. I need to pinch out some of the little sprouts there and tidy the whole thing up. Lots of very overgrown radishes again. Courgette plant. Zucchini. Yellow variety. This one's got a bit of an injury, so I'm actually just going to take that off now while I remember. I usually just twist them off. But that's kind of the size I usually pick them anyway, and being told that picking them kind of encourages them to fruit more, so we'll see. Have that for dinner tonight. Very sad looking beans. happier beans. I pinched the top out of this a few weeks ago, so running beans should start getting some actual beans on it, but we'll see, because there's no sign of that yet. There's been flowers but no beans. Behind that we've got more extremely overgrown radishes. I really should pick some of these. I don't really want them to go to seed. Slightly earlier in their life cycle, those like drumhead red cabbages. Cucumber. Lots and lots of flowers that are pinned up against the fence before I got sick. So sweet peas, nasturtiums, sunflower. Ideally I should have had these all the way along the back. I think that would have been nice, just for a bit of privacy as well as good for pollinators and things, but maybe next year. In between us we've got onions going all the way up the middle and some cabbages at the end. And then I've got my pea plants here, standing in my own light, but purple podded peas. I've just been picking these and freezing them in a bag until I've got enough to actually make something with them, because they're quite sporadic the way they come. I'll get them slightly bigger than that and then pick. There's a few that could probably come off here and go in my freezer bag and then make a stir fry with them or something. You don't get loads from the amount of space they take up, but they're a fun plant. And then that's another runner bean that I've pinched the top out of. The cucumber, a couple of tomato plants, and I've got my 2 potato bags here, which I don't know, maybe they'll be ready to pick soon. I'm not really sure when that would be, but they're starting to flower. I'm not sure if you leave them until the fruit before you put the potatoes, or you need to read a bit more about that. I can't remember which variety is which. One is a supermarket one and one that's I think maybe like pink fir apple or something like that. And then we'll go up the other side. Got my herb bed here, which is getting very overgrown with sweet pea and nigella flowers, but that's fine. A couple of lavenders, strawberries and different herbs. There's thyme in there. This is doing pretty on its own, apart from the basils. Turns out it's not easy to grow basil outside in the UK. Very frondy asparagus. Very overgrown with weeds here. Really need to pull some of this out. Got a marjoram. Another one of these yellow courgettes. Bunch more super overgrown radishes. More sweet pea flowers. Rudbeckias, plants that I got given by my mum, and they've grown up quite a bit and they look like they're ready to flower. Beetroots in here, they're not going to be ready for a little while yet, but they look fine. More nectarers. Very flowery radishes. Sweet corns, which are actually looking pretty good. Never had any success with sweet corn in the past, so it's nice to see that it looks like it's actually getting somewhere, but we'll see. More carrots in here. They're like purple and orange carrots. And more sweet pea flowers. These are my main, I'm going to step over the other side to brush here. This is my main section of tomatillos, which again, I kind of thought they'd be taller, but I've never grown them before, so it's interesting. Very interesting, weird root thing that this has done, where it's come over and then rooted back into the ground again. Cool flowers and stuff, and I'm really excited to see if we get fruit on these. Make some salsa or something. We did have Chinese cabbage in here, but I had to pull it because I went to seed and then I've not replaced it. Got a hollyhock, some straw flowers. Another very sad looking squash plant. This one's a green courgette. The yellow courgettes are doing fine, but this one looks very sad, which is weird because I bought it as a plant from the same place I got the yellow courgettes from. It's usually very good garden centre, local place. Got all our onions here seem to be, not onions, sorry, they're garlic, seem to be doing good. These are just from shop bought garlic. Sprouting a lot. Got some Cavolo Nero kale in here. Some more flowers and things at the back. Need to fill this whole space really. Got some more chicory in between here. Can probably start picking this in. It's a nice like freckly variety, really cool. A couple of pak choi type cabbages that need to be picked because they've got the flower, but I can use some of the leaves in a stir fry or something. Leeks have started to come up there. These are Stuttgarter giant onions. Probably planted them a bit too close together because they are giant onions, but we'll see. Chard's starting to come up. Still a while away from picking any of that. These are daikon radishes, which I've never grown before. I've grown other radishes, but never daikons. I'm guessing it'll take a while to get a full daikon-sized root on them, but we'll see. Supposed to be some lettuce in here, but I'm not really seeing anything coming up, so I might have to re-sow. Got a few more flowers at the back, hollyhocks mainly. The little tomato plant in there that's not doing great. It looks healthy, but it's just tiny. These are Ishikura onions, Japanese type of onion. They don't form much of a bulb at the bottom, it's mainly tops. So really good if you like spring onion for garnishing and things like that rather than for cooking with. A couple of dill plants, these will do fine. And then some quite eaten rocket at the front here. So that's kind of where we're at with it at the moment. As you can see, the garden's extremely overgrown in general. I don't usually do the lawn. My partner usually does the lawn, so next time he's off work and it's an okay day, he'll do that, but that's been weeks because we're having an absolutely rotten summer here. You can see the size of all the weeds and things. It's a big project, this garden, but it'll get there eventually. I'll just show you my kind of potting station where we're up to with that at the moment. So this is where I tend to do my seeds. I try not to stand in my own light here. More chicory, more Cavolo Nero, which is a nice terra kale. I prefer this to kind of curly kale. It's just like a little bit nicer texture. It's a little bit more like collard greens, I guess, that kind of thing. A little bit more that vibe. Or spring greens that you get from the supermarket. Got some iceberg lettuce. That was Oloroso lettuce, but I think it's got a little bit swampy and nothing's come up because it's been very wet. More chicory. Some beetroot that I'm trying to do in here and pot on rather than planting it straight out. I'm going to move this actually because it's a little bit shaded, but this is purple basil. You can see there is actually like some tiny sprouts. But basil's really struggling with the wet weather. It doesn't like being soaking. More of this red cabbage. It's going to be a very cabbagey dining experience in a few months' time. These are are these cauliflowers? Yeah, cauliflowers. Yeah, and then we've got wongbok, which is like a Chinese cabbage, like the style that you use for kimchi. Red pak choi, which is the ones that went to seed outside back home because I planted them a little bit later. These ones won't because we've got the shorter days now. I think it was just like the long days we're making them go to seed. Some more of this like freckly chicory. More of a drumhead cabbage. I think I've had a bit mad with that because it takes quite a bit of space. Cavolo Nero. So more of that like black kale that I was talking about. These are going to be like bulb fennels, like Florence fennel, the kind where you can use the bulb, similar texture like an onion, but like an aniseed, whatever, and it gets the fronds on top as well, so it's kind of a multi-purpose. More beans. Kind of the last chance to plant some borlotti beans, so we've done that to see if we can replace the ones that have done basically nothing. And then I've multi-sown some carrots in here that'll go out when they're a little bit more sturdy. Carrots normally I'd sow them in place, but I'm just trying this to see what happens. And then down here next to the door, my poor pink tiger chili has been completely eaten. I do have one on the windowsill inside. Don't know if you'll be able to see, but yeah, there's one here on the windowsill inside that's doing much better. But I've got a couple of other pepper plants. These are sweet peppers. This one's orange spice. Actually, that one's actually got flowers and the starts of fruits on it, which is pretty good for outside in the UK. It's kind of experimental to do them outside, but this bit of patio gets quite warm in the sun. Early jalapeno, not very early, doing worse than some of the other chilies. California Wonder peppers. They're kind of the most reliable pepper I've found for growing outdoors in the UK, but not this year apparently. Some Monmond tomatoes. Another early jalapeno. Little thing of lettuce that I'm going to start picking soon. That's what I'll put in here. It's quite a big tub, so. And the tomatoes are a little bit late to transplant, so maybe I'll just put some salads in here for next to the door or some herbs or something. I would think. And then obviously all this needs weeding. But yeah, I'll do some bits and bobs and then we'll report back.
Hours later.
So you can see now we've given the grass a bit of a trim, kind of badly because we don't have a proper lawn mower. We've just got a strimmer at the moment, and you can see all the dry grass is kind of all over the plants, but that'll just act as almost like a mulch to stop further weeds coming up, so I'm not too worried about it. I've decided to just leave the radishes that were getting a bit overgrown to go to flower in places. The same with the these are pak choi, which are brassica, a little bit like cabbage. Decided to just let them go to flower. It's good for the bees and things, so might as well just leave them. I'll pull them before they go to seed because I don't want them to self-seed and just start new plants where I don't want them, but we'll leave them for a bit. Started picking the spinach. I had some with some pasta the other day, which was really nice. Just threw it in the pasta water while it was in the last sort of minute of cooking, and then stirred it in to make like a sort of bolognese style pasta bake. Really nice. Tidied up these tomato plants, pulled off some of the bottom branches, and then I've just tied them to this old stick just to prop them up a little bit, and that's kind of cleared some of the ground. Tied up this tomato. We're actually starting to get some ripening on the low tomatoes here, which is pretty exciting. This is sun gold, so it'll only really go to like an orangey colour, it won't go like fully red. These are really, really tasty. It's a really great pizza recipe that uses these as part of the sauce in Anthony Falco's pizza book, Pizzas Are, which is a really, really good pizza book that I'd really recommend to anyone who wants to get really into pizza making. If you're interested in kind of like sourdough dough making and things like that, it's really good. I'll probably make a video at some point about pizza making because we're pretty into it. We've got an outdoor pizza oven that's wood fired. Been doing it for a few years. Look at these lovely flowers on the tomatillos. Really excited to see what these are doing. They seem to be changing daily at the minute, these flower plants, because we've had a little bit more sun, so that's really nice. Again, started pulling a few more of the courgettes. These are the radishes that are really, really going high. They'll get some flowers on soon, and then I'll pull them, as I say, before they go to seed. I've been picking these sporadically. Probably need to pick a few more actually. These are about the size I like them for like a stir fry or something like that. Lots of lovely flowers. But yeah, we've kind of tidied things up a bit. Got things a bit more in order. with this part. So yeah, see the cucumbers are coming on quite well as well. Yeah, I'll update things soon on where we're at with it, but I feel a bit happier with it. After I've kind of spent some time tidying things up, it wasn't as bad as I thought, so. Alright, see ya.